In this video, we're going to look at the 5 tips you should know before playing Naruto x Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. For the first time in a Storm series, you get to choose your style of gameplay. Players can now choose their gameplay by playing with the normal or simple control style. Players can of course switch from one mode to another. If you are new to the Naruto Storm series, using the simple control style is the easiest way to discover how to use your favorite character. Step by continuously pressing a single button, you can unleash the strongest combos, which will help you manage your chakra and life bars. That's a bit misleading since most combos they're all kind of the same. So maybe the simple control mode will allow you to go from combos to jutsus to grabs to all these sorts of things, and it will kind of just route out the strongest route for you without you having to do anything. With the user-friendly control mode, you can prioritize having fun to the fullest and become one of the best ninjas at the speed of lightning. Now, this I have an issue with. So I think that's a bit misleading. I think that if Connections is anything like the last Storm games, it's very easy to pick up, but hard to master. So people at the highest level, people that master the game, can and will easily destroy casual players or people that are new to the game. But at the same time, there's certain things that even allow beginners or average players to beat skilled players. And part of that is the netcode and the frame rate delay. I think this is a bit of misinformation here. It says at lightning speed. I think that is wishful thinking, and I think that they're basically lying to you on that one. I haven't tried the simple mode yet, so maybe it's a little bit different than what I'm anticipating, but I just don't like the idea of giving people false hope, right? But maybe it's that great that if you just play simple control style mode, you can beat people or that are a lot stronger than you, and that is problematic in itself if that is true, right? So either way, if that's not true, that's not good to give them false hope and to lie to them. And if it is true, then the game has been dumbed down and simplified even more to the point where we didn't really need that in Storm games. It was simple enough. The control system was simple enough. It's the best mode for special spamming buttons technique fans. So we have an issue here with spamming, right? And button mashing. Spamming buttons technique fans. My God. So when comparing our community to the traditional fighting game community of like Street Fighter players, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear, all these types of players, like the fighting games that came before that were paved the way and that are traditional fighting games, we're basically considered an arena fighter. This type of rhetoric and language doesn't really help us because even within our own community, people say you're a Deidara spammer, you're a Rasengan spammer, you're a Minato runner, you're a Fireball spammer, you're a button masher, you're just mashing. Oh my God, why are you just mashing circle when everybody knows you kind of have to mash? But what they're saying, there are nuances to these things that people don't really articulate, but the defining leads to confining. So we basically just say this thing, like we're going to say that you're a spammer. So we're defining it, but then we confine it. Like it makes sense that we're doing these things to understand something, but everyone kind of interprets that something or that label as something a little bit different. And it doesn't really help the community because it jails us in a way and confines us, and we don't really hash out these points and explain them. So that's in our community. Outside of our community, it's not really good because, we're kind of hoping and wishing for someone like Maximilian or someone like this or Justin Wong or people at this level to help integrate us into the more serious realm of fighting games. And so when you present the game like this, it's pushing us further away from that goal. It's almost like being a captain of a ship and trying to go east and west at the same time. It's impossible. So do we want to be more casual, reach more casual audience, and make a lot of money just selling these copies? Because Naruto Storm 4 has the highest amount of games sold ever for an anime fighting game. So do we want that? And do we want to be inclusive, or do we want to go more competitive as well? And I think they're trying to reach both audiences, and I don't think it's going to work out for them in the way that they think that it will. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about all that? People from the traditional fighting games, like Street Fighter, will see this and then immediately kind of write us off as, ooh, we're just an arena fighter. Ooh, we don't have like fleshed out mechanics that are balanced and that, that we can be taken seriously with the respect that we would like to be treated with. So this kind of just takes us back to the Stone Age a little bit. Normal control style. If you're a seasoned ninja, or once you have mastered the substitution timing and chakra gathering method, you are ready to select the normal control style. Okay, so this is not written well again. This is like AI script. Like they literally put points into an AI, and AI is talking to us. We're not actually reading something from a human being. We're reading something from a computer generated, which is not good. That's not a W for us. That's lazy. You could have easily gotten someone from the community to do this, outsourced it. Anyone could have done this better. They didn't take their time in consideration to make this article because there isn't even proper English in this article at times. So what they mean is if you're already a seasoned veteran, right, or a seasoned ninja in the Storm series, you can just play normal control style and you don't have to play simple. The simple control style is most likely for people to get them into the game, to help them transition more into the normal control style. But honestly, the normal control style is not that hard, and I don't think if that's what it is, we never really needed it in the first place. Or once you have mastered the substitution timing and chakra gathering method, you are ready to select the normal control style. Okay. Interesting. That could be a good point to help people. Like if they don't know anything about the Storm series, that could actually help them. Either play offline with friends or online against players all over the world with destructively well-timed attacks. So weird, dude. Yes, play offline with friends or online against players all over the world. It just doesn't make sense. Like why do they have destructively well-timed attacks? I mean, I get it. It's trying to like say that when you play PvP and play people online, the people are going to be really good at what they do, right? I mean, because like the attacks themselves are going to be the same whether you play offline or online. It's also kind of making the assumption that when you play with friends offline, your friends are not going to have destructively well-timed attacks. It doesn't make sense at all whatsoever because you're actually more likely to get a better experience offline because there's no lag or frame rate drops, right? You don't have to worry about that, the delay-based netcode or whatever, unless we actually have good netcode this time, and then that'll be a heaven sent. Like, it'll be amazing, and then everyone can play everyone. It would be great. With the normal control style, you can be more agile with your attack and defense. You can choose when and which combo to use to dodge your opponent's attack or break their guard. Okay, so this is actually perfectly said. It's very straight to the point and it makes sense. I guess in the simple control method, you can't even choose your combo. It chooses it for you. That's kind of weird, potentially. So you have more control, it seems like, in the normal controls, which is what we've always had, right? Try both control options to see which one suits your fighting style and have the best of fun. All right, so, it's nice to see that they made this with the intention of us having the best of fun, and they want to try to be inclusive towards everyone. I do like that. I just think this is very kind of like abstract and convoluted. Like, it's kind of odd, just the way that they talk about it. Learn the basics to wipe out your opponent. When starting your first fight in Naruto Storm Connections, you will see bars and icons on the screen. To use your characters to their fullest, take a good look at the 3 bars at the top of your screen. Health gauge. The first one is your character's health gauge that will decrease when the opponent hits you. The health gauge will have 3 distinct colors that each represent the phase, green, yellow, and red. If the green gauge gets to empty first, then the second yellow gauge appears, indicates that you have reached half-life. If your health gauge is about to run out, the gauge color will turn to red. Once the gauge becomes completely empty, the round ends. Additionally, you can unlock special rewards if you beat your opponent with more than 50% of your health gauge. So that's something I didn't necessarily know specifically, is you can get special rewards. I wonder what those rewards are. Is it like the Ryu that you typically get at the end of a fight? Or are you going to get like unique and interesting accessories over time? That would be actually kind of interesting. Chakra gauge. The second most important bar is the chakra gauge, represented by a blue gauge on your screen. This bar represents the chakra you have available during the fight to launch attacks. From basic to advanced moves, the amount of chakra will determine the type of attack. The key will be to manage a good amount of chakra during the battle, so use your chakra wisely. You can also hold a button to refuel your chakra. Yeah, some of the language here, like refueling, it seems like an odd choice, right? Like everyone in the community, as far as I know, most people say recharging. We've never said refueling your chakra. That just reminds me more of a car. You can see on your screen below the chakra gauge is the storm gauge. By taking hits and successfully hitting your opponent, this gauge will automatically fill up. If you have less than half of your health gauge, the storm gauge will completely fill up. When the storm gauge is filled up, you can either activate a combination secret technique, or unleash the awakening form. That's pretty well said, and it's true. Like, this is important information for beginners and people that have never played the game before. Now stronger, faster, and boosted to the max, you can change the tide of the fight with the short timed buff. This is important to know because I think that awakenings are a lot shorter. Like, we used to get like 10 to 20 seconds, maybe 15 seconds of awakening in past games, but now I think it's very short. But it says boosted to the max. I think that's not really true. I think every single character's boosts get a little bit different. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it feels like when you're playing Storm games of the past. Your awakened form has special combos to take down the opponents, but all the chakra will be consumed. Use it strategically to achieve victory. This is very confusing. It's true that your awakened form has special combos to take down the opponent, but all of your chakra will be consumed? What does this mean? Like, are you literally going to lose all your chakra if you choose to go into this afterwards? Like, what is going on with this statement? I also think that this is part of the AI making a mistake. It doesn't even make sense. See, this is another example, right? Perfect. So your health gauge is here. Enemy health gauge is here. Chakra gauge is here. Okay. Storm gauge is here. Substitution ninjutsu is here. Team members are here. And battle items are here. And a timer is here. This is generally pretty good, except for it gets a little bit confusing because it says your health gauge is here and your enemy health gauge is here. But then all of these points should have actually been on this side, right? Because it says your team members are actually here and your enemy team members are here, right? But instead it's saying it says just generally team members are here. This is the enemy team and this is the team. So I know it's little differences there, but it just kind of shows you that it's not streamlined. In awakening form, your ninja tools go away. So they should have picked 2 non-awakenings to show that your ninja tools are here and the enemy's ninja tools are here. There's some things in here that will confuse beginners or people that are new to the series. They'll be like, wow, I don't get ninja tools. Like, they won't know why, right? And it's because you're an awakening. Too many characters to choose from? Turn that to your advantage. With the largest roster of the series, you now have more than 130 characters to fight with. Find your favorite character or the game's strongest character here. We kind of suffer from this where there's some characters that are just so strong that they probably should be banned or not playable competitively. Of course, in a casual sense, no need to ban anything. It's all just for fun from the casual perspective for the most part. All characters have similar gameplay patterns, but their fighting styles differ, giving you an advantage depending on the form you select. That's factually true, probably. Some characters are better for the fast-paced gameplay, like Minato with his teleportation jutsu. That's sick. For quick attacks, you can even attack from far away in an instant. Ino and Shikamaru are good for long-range attacks if you prefer to stay safe and attack from a distance. I totally agree with Ino, but Shikamaru, I don't know, I have to see it for myself. Like, I think Pitia Shikamaru, yeah, but Shippuden Shikamaru isn't really a distance character at all, actually. He's more of a mid-range and short-range fighter. So unless they change things up, I think something like Deidara, right, or Shino would have been a better character to put here. This is kind of, like, not right at all. Just trying to, like, say, hey, look at our big roster. Experiment with the 3-man squad form to unleash their full potential. When choosing the main fighter, you'll notice that there are still 2 other slots available to choose the characters. Naruto Storm Connections is a 3 versus 3 fighting game. They categorize themselves as a fighting game, not an arena fighter. Like the same way that you would say Street Fighter is a fighting game. Where you play all three characters of your team. The team will share a single health gauge. Also, for the first time, you will be able to choose 2 ninjutsu per playable character, meaning that up to 6 different ninjutsu can be used throughout the game. You will be able to change your fighter during the battle to use their assigned ninjutsu, so be strategic. That's true. You can summon the other characters to support the battle multiple times. That's true. The support characters can bother your opponent during a combo and can also distract the opponent while you charge chakra. Okay, so this is like what I have an issue with here. The support characters can bother your opponent during a combo. So I really don't like this, and I don't think it's healthy for the Storm games because you're even saying that we're a fighting game, but the supports will interfere the combo of the other person and basically save you and stop them from comboing you. But we're in a combo game, and that works vice versa. If you wasted everyone's substitution bars, you've earned the right now for a few seconds, like 5 to 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds max, but it's probably usually 5 to 10 seconds. Now you can combo. Now, in addition to all this get out of jail free cards, right? They can just summon a Neji support or a Pain support, and now you can't combo. So the game is literally built to not combo. It even knows this itself. Even the AI is telling you that the game is not built for combos. But before, like in Generations, Storm 3, and Revolution, those games were actually, whether they were built for combos or not, you could do amazing combos with them. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And Storm 4, I actually realized this as well. Like, I realized that this was kind of the downfall and the worst Storm game for comboing. And it looks like Connections might actually be in line with that and not like the old games where you could actually combo better, have more creative combos. It's not about like, you can have the potential to have creative combos, and that's great in Storm Connections because you can do all these amazing things now that you couldn't before with crumpling animation and combining things, and jutsus now like are part of the combo. That's great. If someone can just use a broken support to stop you from doing that, what's the point of having that if you can't even experience that? Also, this charging chakra thing doesn't really matter as much because you can just kind of run away and gather your chakra because it naturally you naturally charge chakra over time. But it is true. They're right about that. Be careful when summoning support characters, as they will immediately attack and then retreat, leaving you alone temporarily or to regain energy. Try to summon them one at a time to avoid being alone versus the 3. That's true. This is a very good piece of information where you should be like using your supports in tandem. Like use one now, wait a little bit, then use the other when you need it. If you just splurge and you just use them at the same time, then you're going to be alone for a very long time. And when you really need them to help you, you're going to be in trouble. So that's great information. That's useful. When creating your team, be strategic by choosing between long-range fighters, close combat fighters, or a combination of both. During the fight, you'll have to change your character depending on the progression of the battle. Infinite combinations are possible with a team of 3 fighters. Experiment different combinations to find the one that suits you best. I mean, that's actually really good. That's one of the best piece of information they gave you. I always talk about this. Always have at least one projectile character or one long range fighter. So you want to have like a fireball on your team, right? A fireball is a generic fighting game term that basically means a projectile. And even if it doesn't look like a fireball, it's still called a fireball. So like Daori's jutsu is technically still a fireball. Combination secret techniques. When choosing your main character, you will see markings that will appear on the other available characters. These markings mean that a combination secret technique is available involving these 2 characters. The game has many combo techniques. Some are obvious, like Naruto and Sasuke, while others can be quite surprising. Now it's up to you to discover them all. That's cool and fun. I get that. That's cool, man. Secret techniques finish. So usually, like, they're talking about, like, if you pick the characters, a little, like, golden symbol or something like that will appear on all of them, showing you that they have a team ultimate. Oh man, I forgot about Barry in mode. I want to play him. Finally, unlock a secret technique finish by choosing 3 special characters. When you select your main fighter, you will mark support characters just like the special combo technique. Choose all 3 that work together to unlock the most devastating techniques and discover new cinematics. All it is a cinematic. It's not really a technique, right? Like, you just, if you can get it to hit, it hits. There's nothing really special about it usually. Like, Sarada in Storm 4 actually broke the mold, and she was one of the very few characters that, like, her ultimate Jitsu fireball, like, animation actually gave her some armor, special techniques, and that Ultimate Jitsu cinematic actually cuts through other projectiles and other fireballs. So it actually has special properties. But in most cases, there's nothing special about it. It's just you get them into an ultimate and then it looks special because it's a cool cinematic. If you don't want to handle 3 characters at once, you can also choose to select 2 or 1. This is great because even in the Storm 4, it says you can, right, when you start the game, it says you can either select a team of 2 or 3. This is very important because a lot of people underestimate and undervalue the 2-man teams. A lot of Japanese tournaments that I've seen of Storm 4, they only use 2-man teams. They don't use 3-mans, and they don't use the strongest characters. They just don't play those characters. They don't play that way. They play in a different way. But this is the part that's very confusing. It says or 1. Now, that's news to me. Imagine you can choose to just play with 1 character in ranked or in player match or in tournaments against 3. That would be interesting. And I think that can be misread. But I think what it really means is, like, there are some modes somewhere that has single player. And that's what it means by that. But it's not accurate enough in its information. This is the fun part. Customize your favorite characters to adapt them to your fighting style. That doesn't make sense. You can, of course, customize your character's appearance thanks to the variety of accessories that are available. So, how does a customization of a character affect your fighting style? That's a 0, bro. 0. Like, what on earth are you talking about? Like, it's fun. I love it. I mean, look at these white cat ears. Who wouldn't want that? That looks amazing. And it, like, color coordinates. This was such a beautiful and wonderful thing in Revolution. I'm so happy that they brought it back. But once again, the article doesn't make any sense, and it's misleading people. Like, how does a fighting style relate to customization? It doesn't. So, but look at all this cool stuff. Toby mask. I mean, that would be cool to put that on any character, right? Both of these Toby masks, maybe a Haku mask, maybe Ambu mask. Lots of good stuff. They added bunny ears, fox ears. Very cool, man. I am looking forward to it. However, there is more to these explanations, and this is not everything. So let's get, I mean, it's even saying it's an explanation when it's explaining things wrong. Let's get back to business. You'd like to know how to use your fighting skills to their full potential, right? When choosing your main fighter, lead, or support, you can pick their attacks based on your fighting style for maximum effectiveness. That's cool. POV. You love a character's design, but they are a chunin, and all you want is their Kage attack. In Archerstorm Connections allows you to swap their attributed attacks for some other from their character panel. So, yes, this is true, but once again, it's fake news, false misinformation. Because how can Kid Naruto or Chunin Naruto, right, or how can PTS Naruto, pre-time skip Naruto, use the last Naruto's double Rasengan Barrage attack? I mean, if it can, that's amazing and super cool and kind of crazy that everyone will be able to do that. But from my understanding, certain characters can use certain other attacks, but they can't use other ones yet because it doesn't make sense. Like, it's not canon and it's not accurate. What is the word? It's not canonically accurate. Can Shippuden Shikamaru use PTS Shikamaru's explosive long-range tag bomb jutsu? That would be cool. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see, but I think that this is also misleading and wrong. Beware, Shinobi. Make sure you unlock your special combos by checking whether your team leader's attacks reflect the support you have. I think they're just trying to say, like, be careful of team building and how you build your team. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I appreciate you. And hit the like button, leave a comment, and more importantly, I hope you have a fantastic day, an amazing day. If not, I hope it gets better for you soon.